The Stampede Midway turned crime scene.
Part of the investigation is still determining what weapons may have been involved.
3 youths stabbed and the suspects remain on the run. A former teacher arrested.
We have so far identified 8 victims.
And charged with sexual assault. And campers come face to face with a black bear in Yoho National Park.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Camilla Di Giuseppe.
Good evening. The search for suspects continues tonight, 24 hours after a stabbing at Stampede Park. 3 teens were injured in the attack on the Midway. Investigators don't know what started the fight, but they believe everyone involved knew each other. Alicia Fieldberg reports.
Fun continues at a Stampede attraction hours after a stabbing on the Midway sent 3 people to hospital.
I'm very upset. Makes me feel sad because, this is supposed to be a safe environment where people are going to have fun.
It happened around 11 Tuesday night near the base of the Euroslide. Police found an 18-year-old man in life-threatening condition and 2 others in serious condition just outside the park. A 15-year-old boy near 17th Avenue and McLeod Trail and an 18-year-old man near Earlton Street and 27th Avenue. Police say it was a fight between 2 groups of people who knew each other.
From reviewing CCTV so far, we could say there's anywhere between 8 and 10 people involved in this altercation, with 3 people ended up at hospital.
It's still under investigation. We don't actually even know what the weapon is or whether or not it was brought on to Stampede Park.
At every entry gate, police support Stampede security, checking bags as attendees pass through metal detectors.
Makes me think about how the security up front with take stuff out of your pockets should maybe tighten down a bit.
I don't know how I feel about the security system because I literally just walked through and there was not really any question about, what was in my purse, what was in my bag.
Free attendance for part of the day and a Don Tolliver concert drew a record attendance of over 193,000 people to Stampede Park Tuesday. Police were aware of concerns about the big crowd ahead of the show, but said there were very few incidents.
We did arrest 1 person that was climbing on a structure during the concert, so that's illegal activity, and he was arrested and ejected from the park.
Still, some are unsettled by recent attacks.
I'm sure it was targeted, I'm assuming, but still, it's scary. It could break into something else, right?
23 hours before the stabbing, police arrested 4 people after a midnight fight on the Midway spilled into a game booth, with workers trying to push the fighters out. While some people think security could be tighter, they still feel safe at Stampede.
I hope it was a personal matter. It's just in the back of my mind. I'm not too scared about it. I feel like it would maybe be different if I had kids or if I was a kid.
I don't want it to make an impact on, what Stampede is here for and how we're seen as a city.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
Police believe others likely saw something or recorded the incident on their phones and are appealing to them to come forward. A Crossfield teacher faces 16 charges of sexual assault and sexual exploitation. Rodney Reisner was arrested by Airdrie RCMP today. The allegations stem from his time as a teacher at W.G. Murdoch School. He is no longer teaching, but the charges have shocked the community north of Calgary. Tyson Fedor with more.
Rodney Reisner is facing 8 counts of sexual assault and 8 charges of sexual exploitation from his teaching days in Crossfield.
It came to light when a parent of one of the victims brought forward concerns regarding his behavior to the RCMP.
RCMP have led an extensive investigation into allegations that surfaced while he was a teacher at W.G. Murdoch School. He has not taught there since December of 2023 or any other school in the Rocky View Schools Division.
We have done extensive interviews. We have so far identified 8 victims right now, and we do believe that there may be more. So we are asking that if you believe you've been a victim of Rodney Reisner, please contact Airdrie RCMP.
RCMP say the victims were female high school students. Former students who spoke to CTV News but did not want to be identified says they witnessed Reisner rub the backs of female students in class, and other students would take videos.
We will listen to you at any point. If you've been a victim, we want to help you. We want to give you some sort of justice.
Reisner is 47 and resides in Airdrie.
It's pretty shocking. Crossfield's very small. It's a very tight community. Everybody pretty much watches out for each other.
Reisner was also involved in the minor hockey community. He assigned referees to games but was not affiliated with Airdrie Minor Hockey Association, which calls the charges shocking.
Anytime there's charges that are this serious in nature, I mean, my first priority is the safety and security of our players, our staff, our volunteers, the parents, and just to make them aware of what was happening.
Rocky School says Reiser had previously taught at George McDougall High School, Edge School, W.G. Murdoch High, and Burt Church High School. Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Crossfield.
RCMP asks if you have witnessed any similar incidents or want to come forward, contact Airdrie RCMP or Crime Stoppers. 2 new charges have been laid against a former Springbank Community High School teacher who already faces sex charges involving a minor. In January, a female student reported inappropriate behavior. 49-year-old Tim Bailey was charged with child luring, sexual exploitation, and making explicit material available to a child. Mounties have laid additional charges of accessing and possessing child pornography. Bailey has been released with conditions and is due in court in September. The former Army Reserve member who served in Bosnia is no longer a teacher in the Rocky View School Division. Police say they have arrested a woman wanted for sexual assault. Yesterday, they released a photo of a woman they were looking for. They issued warrants for Regina Carla Fitzgerald, wanted for sexually assaulting a teenage boy near the Somerset Bridlewood C train station. Fitzgerald is accused of making sexual comments and inappropriate touching. The boy ran away and reported it to an adult. The family of a teenage girl found dead inside a vehicle on Friday is searching for answers. The body of 16-year-old Jordan Dines was discovered near the community of Glenwood, about 200 kilometers south of Calgary. Her mother describes Jordan as a loving, smart, kind, and funny kid, but she did have her share of problems. In a statement, she told CTV, "We are devastated and we want answers." Police said the teen was considered an at-risk youth and was last seen July 2nd along Wood Park Avenue Southwest in Calgary. RCMP is leading the suspicious death investigation. Only 10 days in, and those against Calgary reintroducing fluoride to the water again are taking to court to try and have it stopped. Today, opponents of fluoridation asked a Court of King's Bench justice for an injunction to halt the process. Kevin Green reports.
Just over 150 people packed the entrance to Calgary's courthouse rallying against fluoridation.
Like, okay, it's good for your teeth. That's just not a strong enough reason.
Refluoridating water has sparked a cottage industry. This Bonus health food store offers fluoride-free water.
For us, it's just about choice, the source of the fluoride, just choosing whether we want to consume it or not.
But 62% of voters in the last civic election said they wanted it back.
I'd rather it not be stopped. Yeah. I think people are misinformed about how fluoride affects our bodies.
Bob Dixon heads the group Safe Water Calgary. He retired as a doctor after pleading guilty to one of 4 charges with the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Alberta stemming from his anti-fluoride advocacy. He says new evidence about fluoridation deserves review.
Not just an expert panel that's put together by the medical officers of health and the medical school at University of Calgary, because they're all pro-fluoride.
Well, quackery, okay, you can call it quackery. Fluoride advocates say these protesters are cherry-picking their data and ignoring the science.
And when you look at that, then you can see the evidence is so overwhelmingly in favour of fluoride.
Inside court, it did not go smoothly. The anti-fluoride group failed to prepare the proper documents and didn't follow procedure. Justice Carolyn Magnan adjourned the case until August 1st.
For those, we keep on with the City of Calgary. We perhaps do a major lawsuit. We go to the province. We've already talked to Danielle Smith, our premier.
The group says it also aims to put a motion forward at the UCP's next annual general meeting, hoping to influence government policy and bring in a province-wide ban through that route. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
We asked the province whether it's considering fluoride legislation. A municipal affairs spokesperson declined comment because the issue is before the courts. Alberta now has the most measles cases per capita in North America. Medical experts say summer events could push case counts higher. Alberta now has over 1,200 recorded cases. There were 16 new cases overnight, all in the North region. Ontario has reported more than 1,900 measles cases since October. But the province's population is 3 times more than Alberta. The U.S. has just under 1,300 confirmed cases. AHS has also issued a public alert for anyone who was in the Lander Treatment Center in Claresholm on June 30th and July 1st for possible measles exposure. Danielle is in with our first look at the weather, from record-breaking heat on Tuesday to, would you say, more seasonable Wednesday?
Yeah, reasonable temperatures, right? And pretty much right where we should be for this time of year. We got to around the mid-20s today in Calgary, so a relief from the heat. And we're going to cool down further for tomorrow, so I need to prepare you for this, especially if you're heading outdoors or even to the Stampede. We are looking at a rainy, cool morning, so the rain will be heavy at times. We'll likely pick up about 5 millimeters, and at 8 a.m., just 9 degrees with a cold, gusty wind out of the north. We may see a couple breaks of sunshine in the afternoon hours, but then we also get into the chance of isolated showers and the risk of thunderstorms, just a high of 18. More details coming up.
Thank you, Danielle. Parks Canada has closed a section of Yoho National Park and issued a warning in another after encounters between campers and an aggressive black bear. There were 2 incidents on Monday, the first at a campground at Takawa Falls, where a black bear damaged an unoccupied tent. Then just south of there at Yoho Lake Backcountry Campground, a bear damaged a tent with campers present. Photos posted online shows the bear inside a tent. Parks Canada says it's not clear if there's more than one bear, but it was looking for food. Another photo shows a shredded up tent. Parks Canada says 13 campers were escorted from the Yoho Lake campsite to a safer location, where a closure is now in place. A bear warning remains for Takawa Falls campground and day use area. Traps have been set by Parks Canada staff who remain on the ground. There were no reported injuries. A new survey suggests Calgarians like the idea of a pedestrian-only zone some weekends on 17th Avenue Southwest. Shoppers and business owners think it would make accessing the area easier, but how easy is it to implement?
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
A new survey shows strong public support for a proposal to close part of 17th Avenue to vehicles on summer weekends. The idea is to create a pedestrian-only zone, but not everyone's convinced it will work. Mark Villani reports.
17th Avenue is busy, to say the least. Traffic snarls, and it's bumper to bumper at the best of times. But what if it wasn't open to vehicles at all? Some are optimistic that would make the community more vibrant.
Great for people to get to know each other, like more in a personal way. I think it's safe to be able to just freely walk back and forth.
Others who live nearby say they might leave their cars or bikes at home.
You know, like, they will still walk for their coffee, I will.
But some worry about access.
We need to park. Parking is often, when I go shopping in areas like that, one of the biggest troubles.
The Beltline Neighborhoods Association conducted a survey to gauge support for closing 17th Avenue to vehicle traffic along 4th Street to 8th Street in July and August, from Friday evenings to Sunday days.
More space to walk, more space for businesses to set up extended retail and patio, as well as just less noise.
It found just over 50% of businesses supported the idea, while 82% of citizens were in favor. 77% say they'd be more likely to shop without car traffic, and the vast majority of spending occurred from those living in a 2-kilometer radius. Property owners believe it will bring more business.
It's a great opportunity for those retailers to show their offerings, to connect with the community.
Other shops say traffic has also been a deterrent for customers.
So when they are trying to figure out how to drive down, it can overwhelm them.
But some businesses disagree.
The majority of my business comes from folks who drive to the neighborhood and do require parking.
It's that old adage, do it right or don't do it at all.
The 17th Avenue Business Improvement District, which represents more than 700 businesses, is asking to pump the brakes. This is the first summer in nearly 7 years where the street hasn't had any major construction disruptions.
So when we think about people not being able to access them, it's a concern, and especially coming out of COVID, a lot of our small businesses have not recovered.
Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
The Calgary Stampede was all about the kids today. Children 12 and under got into the park for free. This attracted lots of families and groups of friends to the Midway, playing games and enjoying all the rides, and treats were very popular too. Some youngsters shared their favorite parts of the Stampede.
Play games and do rides. It's a hard one. I like to do everything. I really like to see all the horses. It's one of my favorites. Motorbikes and jeeps and helicopter.
An attendance record for Tuesday with more than 193,000 people was set. The 16th annual Pink Pancake Stampede Breakfast was held to support the Canadian Cancer Society. Participants wearing pink noshed on pink pancakes while enjoying music and family-friendly activities. It's also the kickoff for sign-ups for the CIBC Run for the Cure, which has happened in Calgary for the last 31 years. Organizers say this year's run has lots of surprises in store, and it's for a great cause.
It's always an incredibly inspiring event. We're excited to try and hit a new milestone fundraising goal this year, and so we're really encouraging the Calgary community to come out and support. Obviously, 1 in 8 women are diagnosed with breast cancer in Canada, so it's a really impactful event.
Tomorrow, the Stampede Caravan Breakfast takes place at Deerfoot City and Mackenzie Town Centre. And the 20th annual Stampede Breakfast, hosted by Sutina Police, went this morning. After traditional drumming and prayers, the flapjacks started flying. Live music, carnival games, and a petting zoo rounded out the entertainment. Sutina Police say it's a great way for them to connect with the community. Danielle's up next with her Skywatch forecast and even cooler temperatures ahead before we rebound in time for the weekend.
Well, the temperature certainly regulated in the city. We went from record-breaking heat yesterday to today in Calgary. 25 is our high, so a lot more reasonable with the cloud cover. A couple raindrops here and there. That certainly did help things out as well. So we felt the cool down here, but Regina, so we pushed our heat off to southern Saskatchewan, where they saw excessive heat for today, and certainly the hot pocket in the city for today. Okay, well, in Calgary, we had some cloud covers, some raindrops, a non-severe thunderstorm earlier. The active weather was really up the QE2 and off to the east. A very, very active day with some very severe cells, and specifically some very large size hail with some of these cells. The core of this, or the timing, was really mainly with the worst weather between 4:30 p.m. and 9:30. Now again, as we head through tomorrow, we're getting the core part of the system, so it'll be a little less with regards to thunderstorm activity. We still have the potential of that, but we are looking at more consistent widespread rainfall for the morning hours for the city. So expect heavy rain for tomorrow morning, and then we should see some breaks in the cloud cover in the afternoon hours, but then we get into the chance of more isolated showers and even the risk of thunderstorm activity in Calgary, up the QE2 once again, and even down Highway 2 into the Lethbridge area. So it could be an active day once again for tomorrow, and we'll certainly see some rainfall as well in many communities where we do need the rain, because we are coming off a hot, dry stretch and about to to head into another hot, dry stretch. Okay, for tomorrow in Kelowna, 26 degrees. In Edmonton, looking at a high of 21 and dry. Rocky Mountain House, Red Deer down to Olds, Calgary and High River, Drumheller, Coronation. Again, we have the potential for rainfall, which could be heavy at times, and then later in the day, the potential for some thunderstorm activity, especially in Calgary and through Christmas Pass. And check out the areas in the southeast where we were in the 30s today, but dropping to just 20 in Lethbridge, 23 in Medicine Hat, and Milk River 23. So at least 10 degrees cooler in the southeast corner of the province for tomorrow. And we're going to cool down further in Calgary as well. 18 degrees for our high tomorrow. 5 millimeters of rain certainly possible, especially in the morning hours. And then we get another ridge of high pressure building in. So that will bring our temperature back into those mid-20s for Friday and the last weekend of Stampede. And we should see a good amount of sunshine with that as well.
Thank you very much, Danielle. A cooler day for day 6 at the Stampede Rodeo, and it seemed to have helped both the competitors and stock show off before the crowds.
There's a horn, and the charge is underway as the big 3 round the barrels and head southbound out of town, and it is a speedy chance Vegan.
The fastest heat of night 6 at the Rangeland Derby saw aggregate leader Chance Vegan and his outfit. Ray Croteau Jr. and Jamie Laboucaine roared down the track at GMC Stadium, but off the turn, Laboucaine suffers a penalty with a barrel down. But once again, Chance Vegan pulls out in front and doesn't look back with the fastest time in Heat 9 of 1:12.85 seconds. It was a much cooler day for day 6 at the Stampede Rodeo. Let's check out the action. As usual, we get things rolling with the bareback. The first cowboy out with Jacob Lees of Caldwell, Idaho, and he sets the pace. An 88-point ride on Winning Rose. He was the best of the day in bareback. Cooper Cook, Dean Thompson, and Sam Peterson make it through to Sunday. Ladies barrel racing, and did we ever see some fast times out there today? Carly Otero of Perrin, Texas, was the best of the bunch. She had a blistering fast time of 16.88 seconds. That's worth $7,000. Otero, Megan McLeod Sprague, and Haley Gibson Stillwell will be here on Sunday. The tie-down roping, and the Harris boys did it again. Ty wins for the second time in 3 days. He ropes and ties that calf in 7.2 seconds. He's through to Sunday. So is his brother Joel and Riley Webb. Steer wrestling next, and that's Will Lummis. And the big man from Byhalia, Mississippi, takes his steer down in 3.6 seconds. That was the best of the day. Lummis is through to Sunday. He'll be joined by Rowdy Parrott and Cash Robb. Saddle Bronc. And this was a tight one. Third and final day in Pool B. Brody Wells of Powell, Wyoming was on Painted Heart. Those two combined for an 88-point ride, best of the day. He's through to Sunday and will be joined by Zeke Thurston and Brody Wells. Breakaway roping now, and that is Brady Good of Abilene, Texas. And just take a look at how fast that is, 2.4 seconds, the best of the day. She's through to Sunday, so is Haley Williams and Maddie Dearman. And finally, in bull riding, Clayton Sellers from Wildwood, Florida, hadn't made any money until today. Stellars and Red Bust combined for an 88.5-point ride. First place, but money not enough to get through to Champion Sunday. Greggy Young, Trey Britton, and third, Jesse Petrie advance in bull riding. Whoa, what a day. All right, that's it for us here at CTV News at 11:30. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.